What is the one thing you can do with the most impact to confront the climate crisis? I get asked this all the time. The answer: radically confront your innate biases. We can train our brains to be better calibrated, to be better aligned to science and data. Why is this important? Because the rapid pace in which our environment is changing requires the accurate allocation of people, time, and resources so that we can effectively combat the many risks we face, from increasing impacts of climate change to infectious disease outbreaks. Solving these crises requires everyone's effort. We can each do our part as individuals to better align with the facts, so that the policy decisions being made on behalf of constituents and the public more broadly are subsequently also entrenched in facts. I'm not just talking about science literacy, although there is significant opportunity for improving the public understanding of science. Rather, my charge is to individuals to take the time to improve upon aligning their perceptions to reality, to becoming better calibrated. I'm asking people to increase their awareness and confront existing perceptions and perceptions that arise throughout the day, like why flying is scarier than getting in a car. If we confront the nature of these perceptions and take the time to do the research, we can adjust our perceptions and align them to the facts. We can approach radically confronting the innate biases that influence our perceptions in much the same way we approach mindfulness and meditation. In mindfulness, we're asked to become aware of our breath. I ask you to become aware of the snap judgments that arise. You won't be at a loss to find one of these. They happen to us constantly. We judge people, scenarios, and most importantly, risks within seconds. It's in our nature to do so. And it's this type of quick processing that has actually allowed our ancestors to thrive since the dawn of our species, so that they could interact with one another, build trust, and set up societies that led to the modern world we enjoy today. The world has developed rapidly around us, and so has our risk landscape. But our brain's ability to accurately process the people and environments we encounter today is lagging behind. We have to acknowledge this and make the effort to actively override our innate hardwiring. It's this hardwiring, when left unchecked, that can result in gross over and under reactions to risk that can leave us more vulnerable to the reality of what is actually headed our way as individuals, as a society, and as a planet. Here's an example. Humans must eat food to survive. We overreact to perceived risk of foods not being GMO-free, despite there being no scientific health benefits to eating non-GMO foods. Many of these same foods are cooked on gas stovetops. Natural gas lines pollute homes and increase the risk of asthma symptoms in kids by 42%. We cannot see natural gas, so we underestimate the risk. We see labels on our food that say GMO-free, which signals to us there is a risk otherwise. This is clever marketing. By making a perceived risk visible, it gets the attention marketers seek to support the narrative that GMOs are dangerous or unhealthy. Like visibility, our brains also play tricks on us with risks that are perceived as slow-moving or far away, like sea level rise or melting ice caps. But we can begin to better align our brains to the very real risks of natural gas and a warming Arctic by taking the time to align our perceptions to reality, by becoming better calibrated. Let's go back to our food example. Why do you feel better when you pick up an organic or GMO-free food? Or rather, why do you feel guilty if you don't pick up these often more expensive products? Are these feelings stemming from accurate perceptions, or rather from perceptions not actually entrenched in facts? I charge you to pause when the feeling of guilt arises from picking up non-organic. Whatever the snap judgment or whatever the scenario, take a pause and process the feeling. Note it down. Spend 5 minutes kicking off the research to get to the facts. Remember, start simple. Do not use Wikipedia, and do source from scholarly databases. I guarantee if you didn't know already that organic and GMO-free is not healthier for you and your family, you'll be surprised by what you learn. You'll be actively confronting your innate biases and training your brain for even more consequential scenarios to come. And in this case, saving some money on allegedly better for you products. On the flip side, a lack of a judgment is also telling of an underreaction. For example, not thinking twice when turning on the gas stove, despite the consequences of the source of this energy. Take the time to think through your daily activities, when judgments arise versus when they don't. Pick one each day and confront your innate biases around it. I promise you there will be much to choose from. For example, why do you feel resistant to moving away from a flood or wildfire-prone zone? Perhaps you believe it won't happen to you. We all believe this. These are the quirks of our brains. Maybe you've already experienced a disaster and you're looking to rebuild your home. Is this really aligned to the most rational decision based on the evidence? These are the feelings to pause on, acknowledge, and then look up the facts on. Commit yourself to those 5 minutes each day and research a particular perception. How accurate was your reaction or lack of reaction to the reality of the science and of the data? Take the time to raise your awareness to your snap judgments, the perceptions they form, and how aligned to the reality these perceptions are. In time, you'll find yourself confronting your perceptions more regularly, more naturally, and ultimately winning over the innate biases that govern our views of the world and the activities that we engage in. This helps train us to be more open-minded, more compassionate, and all of this is needed to create a better, brighter, more equitable future on our one shared planet.